Hey, what's up? This is James Wiseman here, media today. We lit. Today, Nation, let's get it. Peace.
It is that time of year again, ladies and gentlemen. The Golden State Warriors Media Day is here, and we can finally get a look into what's going on within the Dubs organization. We got a lot of important updates here for Monday's media session, so make sure you stick around until the end to get all the updates. First off, there's no way I can start this video talking about anybody else except Steph Curry, the chef himself, so let's get into that right now. During the media session, a reporter asked Steph about what he thought of the roster this year in terms of the age gap difference between all the vets and the younger players, and Curry had this to say about that. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it on paper, there's definitely something that jumps off the page. I think me and Klay been here 10 years together now, Draymond as well. Andre for a significant portion of that and the best days of it. We now have high potential, energetic young guys who have a lot to accomplish in this league, and we hopefully can marry the two in terms of what we can do on the floor every single night. So I like the challenge of it. I feel like we don't have huge holes in the roster. It's just there's a lot of potential for young guys to step up in meaningful ways, probably faster than we've been used to in the past with how we've won, because we haven't really relied on rookies to come in and play significant roles. But we also haven't had 3 lottery picks either. Next up, a reporter asked Steph about his thoughts on Michael Jordan from when the 2 NBA superstars caught up at the Ryder Cup together. Steph had this to say regarding MJ. 1, I'm not alone in being a psychopath about golf. I do know that he might have me beat for sure. Just that competitive spirit never dies. Like, the same killer instinct he had as a player and in business has translated into his presence around like a Ryder's Cup. That spirit that made him who he is while he was playing basketball permeates everything in life, and that's such a cool kind of concept. He gives everything he does his all, and he wants to win everything, so it's not just talk, it's how he lives. Steph also touched on Klay Thompson, of course, so when a reporter asked about what it's going to be like to reunite, this is what Steph had to say about his brother from another splash. It's going to be beautiful, beautiful basketball. Honestly, it's probably going to be emotional for sure because of everything, but I'm excited. I know the crowd is going to show him so much love like he deserves. Dang, guys, I think Klay is going to go for 10 threes in his first game back. Next up, let's move to the professor in the building. I'm talking about Andre Iguodala. A reporter asked him about what he thought about the young guys, Wiseman in particular. This is what the 2015 Finals MVP had to say. I haven't really seen James on the floor much, just the time slots when he's on the court and when I've been on. But I've seen him do some simple things, maybe just simple footwork or a simple hook shot, and really excited to see him back on the floor. He's asking me the right questions, which tells me a lot about who he is, and that's probably the player I'm most excited about. Whatever they call it now, superstar player or living up to the hype of being the #1 pick, he's asking the right questions to want to be great. But there's a lot that comes with being that young that you really don't know. But I'm really excited to be along that, whatever my short period of time with him is, to help him get there. And I think he will get there and understand how important patience is and just taking it one step at a time. And most importantly, just making sure that he enjoys playing in the NBA. I cannot wait to see the growth of these young studs with the mentorship from guys like Iggy. Anyway, moving on. Believe it or not, Klay recently made a comment saying he wants to play the game of basketball until he's 40. And this is what Iggy had to say about that. That's a funny statement. He'll play until he's 40. I got him into an investment that he doesn't have to play till he's 40, but the way he is, he's one of those guys where it doesn't matter if you pay him $200 million or $200,000, they're going to prepare the same way. They're going to love the game. They're going to play just as hard, and he's one of those guys, so the money isn't the reason why he plays, and I think you know. That's why you see his commitment. That's why you see him not falter, not waver throughout this period. I mean, you guys who have one of those injuries and never come back, and they just kind of try to get back, but they're not quite the same, and they can't take the check, and that's it, which is understandable. But for Klay to have 2 of them and to get back to what I've seen, it's just a testament to who he is and what he stands for. If you're wondering about the difference between average and greatness, I think Iggy summed it up right there. Moving on. When Iggy was asked about his thoughts on Steph at this point in Steph's career, Iggy had this to say. He's a generational, impactful guy that you don't see often. There's only like one of those guys every generation that changes the game. You know, talking to Steve, and Steve was like, Steph Curry was the reason why you're allowed to have fun and laugh on a basketball court, whereas opposed to before, it was all macho and who was the toughest and who's the meanest and the baddest, and he made it cool to have fun, and he made it cool to, be a husband who's there with his kids and the whole family.
Loving it. That's good on the bongo. Thank you.
Next up, guys, we gotta get to the beast of the Bay, Klay Thompson. First off, when he was asked about this Jackie Moon headband and whether that was going to stay for the season, Klay had this to say about it. Well, it's been with me my whole rehab, so could be. We'll see how I shoot, I'm pretty superstitious. Man, maybe I should start wearing a headband when I play ball. Heck, I might become the #1 overall pick in my rec league if I did. Anyway, Klay had this to say regarding the date of his return. I don't have a set date, but I don't anticipate anything before 12 months. That's at least till late November, early December, and then it's kind of a feel thing. But there's an endpoint, and that's what excites me. The worst is far, far behind me. When asked about how he feels about his return to basketball again in a Warriors uniform, in front of all that audience, Klay had this to say. I thought about that moment for 2 years. I really miss basketball. I miss playing for the Warriors in front of our great fans. I think about it every day and get a little nervous thinking about it, but it's going to be very special. It's going to be a great night. And when asked if he fell in love with the Warriors again, Klay had this to say. No, I always loved the Warriors. Like this team that drafted me, I've seen the fan base grow. I've seen the team go through, my rookie year, winning 23 games, 4 years later, breaking the NBA season record for wins, 16-1 in the playoffs, another record. So I'm very prideful to be a Warrior, and so should everybody else who puts on this uniform because it's truly a privilege to play for this organization. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference between the Warriors and, say, the Minnesota Timberwolves or the New Orleans Pelicans. I can't say that I've heard people say that about those other organizations. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is really unhappy with some of the stuff going on in Minnie, and if you Google Zion Williamson, it's just all about growing tension that's happening within the Pelicans organization. Anyway, the next question that was asked was, what exactly can you do right now, Klay? And Klay responded with this. On the court, I can make a lot of jump shots. I'm pretty good at defensive sliding. My timing's a little off, my reaction time's not there yet, but that's also being rusty for 2 years, so I anticipate with hopefully in the next 4 weeks, play 5-on-5 again, 1-on-1, and then from there, it should be smooth. And about Klay's general outlook on the team, he had this to say. I think it's great. I think the future's bright and the present is even brighter. I actually got young guys that listen to me. It's pretty crazy how time has evaporated, but I'm excited to coach these guys and just play alongside them and hopefully teach them a few of the little tricks I've learned over the years. I just get excited seeing these young guys run up and down with their spry legs, and their ability to get above the rim gets me excited. Klay ain't joking either. Kuminga and Wiseman can really leap, and they're probably the biggest dunkers the Warriors have had in a while. Gosh, that was a ton of good stuff from the media day, and we still aren't even halfway through. Let me get part 2 for y'all later this week. In the meantime, have you guys heard? Joe Lacob isn't going to trade Wiseman and Kuminga for anybody or anything, and he isn't going to hear about any trades for these two studs. It's huge, guys, and I got the video right here for you. It's pretty amazing, guys, and I know you'll get a blast from watching it. Click the video, guys, watch it, enjoy it, and as always, I'll see you on the other side.